Sausage. Hello, and welcome to another episode of First, the show where I, Marcus Nez, gives you my first impressions on a game, and this here game is all about this here game. This here episode is all about a game, and that game happens to be called 35mm. A game. How many times am I gonna say game in these first 30 seconds? But it is a game that you play. And it's a game where you are a dude in post-apocalyptic Russia searching for answers, I guess, and probably shelter and all that good jazz. You got a little buddy with you, and you're thrown into this open world and are just tasked with exploring it and finding answers and whatever. Except you will soon realize that it's not an open world. The second you try and traverse and travel and see what there is to find in this space, you'll be immediately met with some on-screen text telling you, I don't think so. You've gone too far. Get back on the pathway and just do as you're told, buddy. And that kills the entire game. I don't really have much to say about it. I've played it for like 45 minutes and grew pretty sick of it almost immediately because of how restricted it is. It throws you into this forested area to start with, and you'll come across houses and stuff like that and sheds. You can check some of them. There's not much to find in them. You can pick up photos, but you can't rotate them or zoom in, which is weird. You can just hold them at a fairly far distance from your eyes, where your eyes would be. And the amount of limitations and restrictions that the game puts on you, and the fact that you really are just following this path, because when you go off the path, you're not going to find anything, or the game is just going to tell you, even though there is no wall there, it'll just tell you that, no, don't go any further. They're not even going to allow you to go any further. They're not going to even allow you to go further, and there'd be like some kind of toxic element or some poison that is preventing you from going forward. No, it's just omnipresence telling you, nope, you do what we want you to do, and that's it. And it makes the whole game feel like a big why. Why is it structured this way? Why are you putting me in this large space, this what seems to be large space that I can't really explore? Just make it more linear. Put up some kind of in-game barrier that makes it clear that I can't actually go off the path and explore this space, this world. Put up some chain link fences. Put up a whole bunch of trees. Make the forest so dense that I literally can't squeeze my way through the trees because there's just so many trees. Do something that prevents me from exploring other than just telling me in the most video game way possible. It takes me out of the experience. It prevents me from being immersed in this world, in this story. The voice acting, what was there, was pretty all right. I was surprised that it wasn't bad. But it's impossible to get into a story, into a world, into these characters' lives when the fact that it is a game and such a guided experience are shoved in your face left and right. So 35mm is not something I would recommend to anyone, because I think so much of what makes walking simulators and those types of first-person adventure games, or third-person, but usually first-person, I think what makes those games engrossing, given how simple most of them are, is the fact that you are allowed to freely explore these small spaces and discover the story in a way that at least feels organic. Even if it is fairly guided, you're not shut out in such a way where the game is just telling you no. You might go into a building and all but one or two doors are locked and you just can't get into them. And sure, that could potentially take you out, but it doesn't take you out as much as the game blurring the screen and bringing up some text that says, no, you can't do that. When a game is just flat out telling you can't do that, and not even in a gamey in-world way or whatever, Like, no. It doesn't work for me. Maybe that won't bother you, but it really bothered me, so. Disappointing. Just like every episode of First. This is not the first episode that's disappointed you. I'm sure it's like the 22nd, probably. Anywho, once again, I am Marcus Nez. Y'all can find me on Twitter and pretty much everywhere at PX Sausage. If you'd like to see me streaming games like 35mm, you can do so over at twitch.tv/pxsausage. If you'd like to check out the videos I make and you aren't already doing so, like the one for this here episode, you can do that over at youtube.com/pixelatedsausage. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that jazz. That is again youtube.com/pixelatedsausage. Speaking of pixelated sausage, if you put a little dot and a com after that, what do you got? You got my website. If you go there, you can find more stuff like this as well as the art I make. And if you see some art you like, you can purchase a print of the piece you fancy. And if you fancy the site in general and anything that we do, please go over to patreon.com/pxs and support us that way. As always, thank you for watching or listening. I hope you enjoyed this here episode, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye!